Oh man, so everybody is talking about BRC20 tokens. But what are these tokens? How do we trade them? How do we inscribe? What does it all mean? We're going to break that down in this ultimate guide. Smash up likes. Let's get straight into this. So the first thing we need to understand is, what are BRC20 tokens? Well, just like any other token standard, the most common you are probably aware of is ERC20 tokens, right? These are the tokens on the Ethereum network. If it's on the Binance network, the Binance Smart Chain, we're talking BEP20 tokens. On Solana, SPL. Well, on the Bitcoin network, the new token standard being created right now is BRC20 tokens. These are Bitcoin native tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain, not on the Ethereum blockchain, not on the Solana blockchain, not on Binance Smart Chain, but on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, therefore, in order to interact with this blockchain, to buy and move around BRC20 tokens on chain, you need a Bitcoin wallet. And we're going to come on to that and how to do that exactly throughout this video. But in order to launch a BRC20 tokens, we're talking 5 lines of code. Yep, this is the JSON file that will then deploy you a BRC20 token. You simply set the line, you tell it you want to set up a BRC20 token, you want to deploy, you give it a ticker name, such as ORDI, and you give it a max. ORDI chose 21 million, and a limit for how many people, or how many tokens you can mint per session, so 1,000 in this case. And there you have it. You've got a BRC20 tokens. And this is what the craze is right now, with people rushing to inscribe on every Satoshi. Now, it's these inscriptions on the Satoshis which are creating value. Because as we know, there are 21 million Bitcoin that are ever going to be created. Each Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. That gives you 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis out there. All the same as the other, right? None of them really have any value. They're just Satoshis. But what if you could inscribe something into them? What if you could assign a file, an image, some text, a number, an inscription? Suddenly it can have value, right? If you had a certain inscription on a certain ordinal, that could have value to you. Maybe I put some data on there that's really important to you and holds value. Maybe it's your lucky number, which you really want to hold, no different to license plates in certain countries. Maybe it's an image like we saw with CryptoPunks, right? Or we saw with Bored Apes. That can also drive value. And that is what we're seeing. And the other thing we're seeing are a bunch of meme coins, right? Meme coins can also be generated using BRC20 tokens. Now, the question we then have is, what are the differences between BRC and ERC20? Well, the first thing you need to understand is, if it's a Bitcoin native token, that means these tokens that are being built right now, these BRC20 tokens, benefit from the security of Bitcoin's proof of work consensus mechanism. In other words, these are being built on the most secure blockchain we have today, the most proven and battle-tested one, Bitcoin. Okay? Now, this, of course, means it's not Ethereum compatible. It's not EVM compatible. There is no smart contracts capability. It's built on Bitcoin. So it has its limitations, it has its pros, and it's still really, really early stages. So please, guys, this is not financial advice. Everything being built here is very, very, very early. The developer Domo launched this on March the 29th of this year. This is very early innings. So if you're playing around with this, please take precaution. This is very, very early times. And you'll notice that when I go through how to set this all up, it's very, very, very embryonic. It's very primitive. Don't expect it to be as perfectly set up as everything on Ethereum. Ethereum has been through this pain and it's developed, and it's a more mature ecosystem. Bitcoin's slightly behind. Now, of course, this is like driving Bitcoin fees to go up because the block space is limited. This is creating a lot of controversy amongst Bitcoin maximalists, and I've posted a video which I'll link up for you guys to go watch as well. But we're not going to cover that off today. What we're going to focus on is, how do we get set up? Like I mentioned, you can't use something like MetaMask to go ahead and buy ORDIs. You need to use a Bitcoin wallet. One of the first providers of this is Unisat. Of course, these are not sponsored. There's another one you can use, which is this one, called ordinalswallet.com. Okay, so you can go ahead and you set yourself up a wallet. You can download the Chrome extension, or if you guys know what you're doing, download from GitHub, and you set it up. It's going to give you your seed phrase, you secure that seed phrase, and you'll be able to connect here. Once you're connected, Now you're in. Now you can go ahead and play around, okay? And the first thing you may want to do is inscribe. Maybe you want to inscribe your own token. So all you have to do is drag and drop a file in here. You can drag an image of your dog or your cat or something important to you, a piece of art or, I don't know, an exam certificate, anything that means something to you, you can go ahead and drag it here. You can put the receiving Bitcoin address, which will be your Bitcoin address where you want to receive the tokens. And then you pay the fee, which is the Bitcoin fee, normally $2 to $3 roughly, depending on congestion at the time. And you will go ahead and in your wallet will land that token. Feel free to play around with that, right guys? Explore that. Now there's other things you can do. You can add text, you can add bulk text, you can obviously mint your BRC20 tokens, which is what we just spoke about earlier with the coding, right? You just want to choose how many you want to be minted and what's the max, and you can go ahead and set up your BRC20 token. More interestingly, for the majority of you, however, is if you click on BRC20, you can then find yourself in the marketplace, right? You can take a look at what is being created so far. I'm going to show you a few other ways to do that as well. And also, for those of you who don't want to operate on chain, you're going to be surprised because the centralized players are getting involved as well. So I'm going to come on to a few easier ways shortly. If you guys are a bit scared about setting up these wallets and Bitcoin wallets and it's all too much for you, there's a solution. So then we go ahead and look into here and you can see Audi is the most popular one. If we click into Audi, what you'll then notice, you can read all the details. You see the inscription, you can see that they've maxed the supplier at 21 million. They've chosen that number obviously because it's a nice number, right? We know there's 21 million Bitcoins. They limited the mints to 1,000, great. And you can go ahead and see all the different details in here. Fine. But then I want to click on trade. And so I go on trade and now you can see the marketplace, okay? Or you could have just clicked here and head straight to the marketplace. Now you're in the marketplace. This is where you can buy Audi. Now, the reason I'm using Audi as an example, I'm just going to jump across here, and you have to forgive me for jumping around, but this is the best way to explain it for you guys in action, is you can jump onto this page here, which is BRC20.io. There's a few other ones as well, okay? So there's this one here, for example, CoinCarp, and I've seen a bunch of others as well. Google it, and you'll find BRC20 tokens list. But you've got to take the data with a pinch of salt. Remember, this is like the coin market cap, right? You guys are familiar with CoinMarketCap, right? This website here. This is like the CoinMarketCap of BRC20 tokens. So I can see all the list of BRC20 tokens. I can see that the total market cap is just under $500 million. I can see there's 24,000 BRC20 tokens available. And I can sort it by market cap. So I can see that Audi, the one we're looking at, is the first one. It's the biggest one by market cap by far. Half of the market cap of BRC20 tokens are being contributed by Audi token. You can see the supply is here, and you can see they're already max minted. Okay, this is very important. It's already max minted. So if it wasn't, you guys could go ahead and mint, right? If there was some available to be minted, you can go ahead and mint your own, right? Now it's not available there. So you can see here, there's the price, $10. Great. And you can click into it and you can see some other details as well, including where you can buy it from. Okay, so you can see here Unisat, Ordinal's wallet. These are some of the wallets we're looking at, and we're going to come on to some of the centralized exchanges who are getting involved as well. So it's very primitive, very basic website. Take it with a pinch of salt, but it's going to help you navigate this space as you're early into this space. And then you can come back into Unisat. And you can see here, if you want to buy 100 Audis, you can only bulk buy these cards. These are the cards that somebody is willing to transfer right now. You cannot buy based on your terms like you can on an exchange, right? You want to buy 0.1 Audi. You can't do stuff like that. You have to come and you're going to buy 100 here at $10 per Audi, so your total order here is going to be 1,000. So you've got to spend $1,000 to get in on this game. You can buy this card here for 2,000, and that's how you're going to get in on this Audi game. If you want to change up the tokens, click here, and you can go down to another one. Click on Punk. Okay, so this is another one that somebody's listed, and it's a Punk. Same thing, $104 per one, but luckily they're selling one. So $104, you can get yourself a Punk, whatever this is, not financial advice. If you want to click into info, and you can see some of the details behind it. So I can see they've got 10,000 in supply, they've minted 10,000, etc., etc., and you can see all the people that are holding them, okay? So 5% of the supply, 505 of these is being held by this wallet address here, etc. You can see it all here. So very straightforward, that's how you go on the marketplace, and that's how you buy. Now, what if you want to transfer? Right? Because once you've minted, let's say you want to transfer some, or you bought some and you want to transfer it to somebody else. If you want to transfer, you can follow this really handy guide, which is on the unisat.io website as well. But in essence, you want to go ahead and find the inscription that you want to transfer. In other words, you want to send it to somebody else. And you're going to click on transfer. And once you've clicked on transfer, you'll be able to set the transfer amount. So let's say you want to transfer of the available example here. There's 4,000 Doge here that they have. keep in mind, guys, this is not the same Dogecoin as you're used to. This is Doge on Bitcoin. This is not Doge on Ethereum, the Dogecoin everybody's talking about. That's ERC20. This is BRC20. So let's say you want to make 1,000 of these available for transfer. You can go ahead and put 1,000 and you can go next and you can inscribe the transfer request. Again, you pay the fee, $2 or $3, whatever the Bitcoin fee is at the time, and now they're available for transfer. The 1,000 Doge are now available for transfer. If you want to know what's going on in the background, this is the coding that's basically saying take some of my Doge and set the parameter transfer to it for 1,000 of them. Now what that means is 1,000 are now up for grabs, right? People can go ahead and buy. So if somebody else wants to go into here, they will see that your Doge, if they came in here and they typed in Doge, they will see that your Doge is up for grabs as 1,000 of them as a transfer. So they can go ahead and they can buy. Now, if you want to send it specifically to somebody, you can do that as well. You can jump into here, send 1,000 Doge, put the Unisat's address, or if they have a nice domain, you can go ahead and put that in as well, and it's going to go ahead and send them. Choose your fee, and off it goes. So basically, this is very early, primitive stages of sending and receiving coins, right? Just like the early days would have been for ERC20. Now, you guys know this is soon going to become very formalized, right? As the rush comes into this place, this will continue to become formalized. These websites will become prettier. There'll be more centralized exchanges getting involved. There'll be a nice sort of DEX, right? If you want to watch that video, I'll link that up here of a potential project, which could be the Uniswap. Right? Remember, Uniswap is the biggest decentralized exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. There's projects that will want to fight to become the same for BRC20 tokens as well. Okay, so this is all primitive. It's going to get easier to use. It's going to get better. But that's where sometimes the reward is to be had, right? High risk, high reward. Now remember, this is very degen plays, right? It's very early stage. You're taking huge risks. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now also, you can take a look here at Ordinal's wallet, right? Again, you can download the wallet, connect the Bitcoin wallet, and you can go ahead and interact with this website as well. You can buy Audi, you can buy Pepe, you can buy Oshi, which is one of the projects I talk about here. Make sure you go watch that, and various others, right? You can also jump into collections and take a look at the collections. Look at Bitcoin Frogs, one of the most popular collections with 7-day volume of 15 Bitcoin already. So you can jump into here and you can see that this is like very early stages CryptoPunks, but on the Bitcoin network, NFTs using the Ordinal infrastructure I've just explained. And again, interact with it the similar way to the way you're interacting with Unisat, just with a little bit of a prettier interface here on Ordinal's wallet. Now, if you're finding that all too difficult, the other way to do it with limited functionality, but you can do it, is you can start waiting for some of these coins to be listed on centralized exchanges. And centralized exchanges are rushing to do so. Centralized exchanges are seeing the trading volume. They've seen that BRC20 tokens have jumped to 500 million already, right? And they want to get involved on this trading volume, right? Because that's how they profit. The exchanges will profit from trading volume. So what you can do is you can jump on over into CoinMarketCap, search, let's say, Audi, which is the most popular one so far. And when you search it, make sure that this here, the contract on the bottom left here, is the BRC network, because somebody can copy the project you're looking for, set it up on the ERC20 token standard, and confuse you. If you want Ordinal's Audi on the Bitcoin network, this is the one you want. You want to make sure you jump into here, click on markets, okay, click on markets, and you can see a list of exchanges which are offering this, okay? So you can just go ahead, you can jump in and get involved. Now, Bybit also offer this, guys. They support the channel, ijaz.uk/Bybit. You get some amazing bonuses using my link in the description. If you want to trade any cryptocurrency, that's the platform I personally use to trade. But again, definitely check that out. These exchanges are rushing to list these BRC20 tokens. Now, of course, they're not going to be able to list straight away some of the exciting ones you guys might be able to find, right? Maybe you're looking through this list, you're looking for some you like, you jump into Unisat. Now, there's another way to do it. Let's say you're jumping through this website. Let's say you like Oshi, which is one of the ones we go through in the video, and I do a deeper breakdown into that. You click on markets. Once you've clicked on markets, you can see the Oshi BTC pair is listed here under Unisat. So let's say you like using Unisat, you go ahead and click, and it's brought you straight into this page. You then connect your wallet in the top right, and you can go ahead and buy. Okay, simple as that on those coins. Now, this is where you're going to get more coins, right? Of course, if you come on chain, you're going to get a list of all the different projects which you can jump into. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, the early stages are heavily focused on meme coins, right? And this is a bit of a double-edged sword because you've got to be careful. Yes, meme coins can be fun, but it's when the utility starts to come that things will really start to get interesting. Yes, meme coins can move and they prove their proof of concept. They show that the platform works. But the exciting thing is, when does the infrastructure start to get built? When does the Uniswap start to get built? When does a Chainlink start to get built? When does a Polygon layer 2 solution get built? When do all these things start to get built? Where do the developers really start being innovative on the Bitcoin network? Really exciting times, but also controversial times for Bitcoin. Could this lead to a bigger catastrophe, bigger block wars, bigger infighting in the Bitcoin community? One thing is for sure, this is huge for miners. Miners are now generating a lot of money through fees generated by people rushing to buy these Audis and BRC20 tokens. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have to play around with this. If you appreciate this type of content, smash some likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch this hidden gem video for BRC20 tokens, plus this one, which will list 5 BRC tokens I'm looking at. And I'll see you in the next one.